All right, awesome. And are we on Facebook too? I think so. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. This is another episode of Coffee Talk. Yes, and I have my beautiful guest, Rudrani,
Aw.
here from Nashville. And we both are wearing lavender, so
And it was not planned.
it's a lavender day.
It's like it rhymes, What are you gonna do? I love it. I love it. How are you?
So, how are you doing this morning?
This morning has been fabulous. It's been very quiet. I had a very nice meditation in my hot tub this morning, communing with Mother Earth.
Hot
Um,
tub.
you got to come visit, girl. Oh, you're gonna be here soon
I,
anyway. But
yeah.
yeah, it's paradise in my backyard. That's how I
Oh,
feel. So that's how I set the tone every day. And then my intention is to kind of coast along with that throughout the day. And sometimes, I don't know about you, but I got an elderly mother living with me, and she's lovely when she's lovely, and then not so lovely when she isn't. And sometimes that sort of wrecks that morning, meter where I've set an intention and I'm like, okay, what's right about this? I'm not getting. But most days,
yeah.
good. Yeah, it's different. It's
Yeah.
different.
It's funny when you say elderly mother, like to me, it's a non-reality, except for the fact that my mom is up there in age, but she thinks she's younger. She's like, I think she's going to be 88 this year, but
Oh,
she
wow.
thinks she's 60 and she still functions that way. So, and she'll talk about like old people and how they like to go to dinner early, but it doesn't include her.
Of
So
course not. Well, my
I
mother doesn't
can't
let me.
even put her in the category of elderly.
It's funny because it's sort of it's obvious that your mother is going to be older than you. And my mother's the same way though. She won't let me call her mom in public. I have to call her Celeste
Oh,
because she would like for people to believe that we are sisters.
oh my gosh.
And she wants everyone to think she's approaching 70. She's 90.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I said, I'm like, Mother, we're 30 years apart. I don't think that's going to fly. How does that make me? Well, tell everybody you're 30. Sure. Sure.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah.
do that. I'll
And
just keep dyeing my hair and no one will be the wiser.
I think, part of that is actually really cool because you're not buying all the stories about your age,
Mm,
yet at the same time, you have to like be present with your body and what's going on with it and
I
you know,
agree.
handle it appropriately.
Yep. Good old body. I gotta say though, my body's been very good to me. I mean, other than the fact that I broke my wrist, my mother broke my left toe, and I sprained my right hand since the beginning. 2024 has been a very interesting time for me.
Mm.
But now I'm getting back on track and my body is doing its due diligence, started walking again and going to start lifting weights again March 1st and all the stuff. And it's amazing though, because I don't know if this is true for you. I find that I'm so much more an allowance of me than I am of others' situations and
Ah,
stuff. And I thought it was the other way around. But now that I look at it, I've become quite selfish since my mother's moved in. I need some me time because in the beginning I was giving all my time to her,
mhm,
all
mhm.
of it in spite of me. And so I wasn't working out and I wasn't doing all the things. And then last May, I jumped into a workout routine, started walking again every morning like I used to, a little morning meditative walk,
It's
where I
so
connect with
important.
nature. Yeah, it really is. We can't
You
forget
know,
ourselves in this equation, you know?
so maybe you're just having more allowance for you and not that you've given up allowance for other people. It's just starting to spread that to
That's
yourself.
actually lighter. That's actually lighter. I'm coming back to me. I think 2024 is the year of coming back to Rue. What were the
Mm,
things that I used to do that I let go of because I had this need to be available for her 24/7 and all the stuff.
mhm.
And she doesn't want that either, although
Yeah, I mean, you end up being, well, see, this is what happens when you're a parent and
ah,
you didn't have that experience in this lifetime.
I have a
So,
cat.
you give up everything for the kids, and then you get to a certain point, and it's like, if you don't do it until they go off to college, then when they do, you have a crisis because you have no idea who you are. So
Right.
I had that in my awareness. And so all along, I chose certain things, to do and be for me so that I knew that I would always have me and
Right.
not be freaked out.
Because you're
So,
smart.
yeah. Well, I just saw what other people would experience, and I didn't want to experience that. And, at the same time, you're also showing your kids how to be in the world. And so if
Mhm.
you give yourself up for everybody else all the time, they're going to give themselves up for
Right.
other people instead of being who they are and knowing that they can choose for them and they can still do things for other people, but not give themselves up.
Right.
Totally.
They won't be feeling like, well, feeling bad because they're doing things for themselves. Because I've heard people say, I don't deserve, I don't deserve to do all this stuff. I had this family to take care of, and they don't realize that it's an option, that it's actually not a bad thing to consider, you know.
Mm,
I mean, I've had my siblings say that I was being selfish because I was choosing all this stuff for me. And until they actually spent a lot more time with my mother and I here together, and I'd be like, I'm going for a workout. You guys take care. Y'all, mommy sit this one for me because I got to get out of here. Y'all drive me crazy.
yeah.
They finally have learned or really appreciate me. We have a group chat now, and every time I give them an update, they just um, inundate me with compliments of how wonderful I am. What a great daughter I am. Completely, the tables have turned. But that I think they realize now how much I took off their plate by moving around with me. So
Totally.
yeah, and we have fun.
So, yeah, they're complimenting you. They should be paying you.
I know, right? It's funny because I paid for her funeral. Okay. It's like I went ahead and had her pick out her casket, all
Oh
this,
my God.
and it was crazy. I had my reunion.
Already? Like she's still here though.
No, well, this is the reason why. Because she was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I said, well, lady, this isn't for you. This is for me. Because when you go, I want to know that everything is in place. I might be in another part of the world. When you decide to check out, I don't know what's going to happen. You're 90 and you're healthy now. Let's get everything you want done now while you're in your right mind and body, all the things. And then when the time comes, the kindness is I don't have to worry about what to do. It's already in place. So
Wow.
it was like 10 grand. She had already bought the whole. So all I had to do was buy the box and the service. She wants a full mass at the church, with the wine and the blood and body of Christ and all the things. And so I reached out to
That
my,
is a big business, isn't it?
yes, I'm telling you, girl. I think, I think I went into the wrong business. Maybe I should have opened a few
Wow.
funeral parlors, just saying. And it was funny when we picked the stuff out because she's leaving and she tells the guy, he goes, well, thank you so much. We really appreciate your business. She goes, well, I won't be seeing you again. But my daughter, it's like, way to go, Ma. But here was the
It
thing. I
is
brought it
kind
up with
of
my
weird, isn't
siblings.
it, to
Yeah.
think, this is inevitable and how can you have fun with it? And,
Right. Let's
how
take
can
care
you
of
have
business.
fun with the time that you've got with your body?
Right. Yeah, indeed. Instead of just dragging it along. But the punchline was, is I did ask them to help me with it. I said, hey, could y'all each pitch in something for this? And they kept insisting that she already had it paid for.
Hmm.
And because she had told them she already had it paid for. She didn't want any of us to worry about it. But
Oh,
neither here nor there. But yeah, they should be paying me, I guess is the punchline.
they should be. Yeah. Don't use their manipulation of you're so wonderful.
Yes, I know.
To be
Oh,
like, yes, and put the thought in their head, I'm going to give her some extra money for doing all this stuff. That
yeah.
would be good.
That would be really, really nice. They do bring me gin now when they come. Big old bottle.
That's good. That's money.
That's some money. Gin and chocolates. I don't know.
I mean, you kind of need it if
Yeah.
you.
I make a mean martini, girl. Just saying. And a
Good to know.
Rudrani.
I usually do a vodka martini, but I will try it.
Why not? Or a Rudrani. It's like a Negroni, but it's the ingredients are changed a little. In fact, the Castle has that recipe on their drink list. Isn't that?
Nice.
I know. So what about you and your mama?
Well,
How's
she
your
just had a
relationship with
minor procedure done and she's feeling weird. And she also had acupuncture, I think,
oh,
the week before, and she's just feeling weird. And one of the things that I keep suggesting is not to focusing on feeling weird and how you don't feel yourself, but like connect with the earth or do some breathing or whatever it takes to relax and not go into the fear, the anxiety, and the upset, because that just creates more of that. Um, and we're going to be going on a cruise in a couple of months. So I'm like, you're usually way out there already, like planning it and packing and, thinking about all the things. Like, why not think about that? So,
yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because I was actually on a call recently that somebody did about vision boards. And I
mm,
have a very interesting point of view about vision boards or had. Now I'm looking at other possibilities. To me, it was like if you make a vision board, you're showing the universe everything you don't have. Hey, universe, I don't have this. Okay, I'll give you more of what you don't have of this. That's what my thought was. And they were talking about, making it into quarters, quadrants, like spring, summer, winter, fall. I'm getting somewhere with this, but I thought they were talking about, health and the health of the family. And if you can envision it, which is kind of like Abraham Hicks, her speak, if you can be that or envision that or already be grateful for what you have or be grateful that it's coming in the future, then it's like you've stepped into the, I'll put it in quotes, vortex, and it gets created for you because the universe is like, oh, she already knows she's got it. So here it comes. And I never looked at it that way. And the way you just said about your mother, instead of focusing on, I don't feel like myself, because I notice maybe it's the elderly. I noticed that my mom likes to do that. It was like she had a stomach virus and was in terrible shape. And she was convinced that she was allergic to the antibiotics, which were making
mm,
her better. She didn't have the pain anymore. She had this itching and all this other stuff we won't get into.
mhm,
And so
mhm,
she was convinced, and I was like, look at all this swelling. And all she could do like 50 times a day. I'm exaggerating, but at least 10. Okay. She'd be like, "Ah, look at all this swelling. I just can't believe, and her midsection had, I don't know what was going on, but it had exploded. And
mm,
when I talked to the doctor, finally, the doctor's going, that's not what an allergy is. An allergy is not swelling. Sometimes your face might swell, but it's really a rash or itching. But, my mom is always right. And I
mhm.
was like, I was thinking about the vision board thing. And I was like, could you think about how good you're going to feel once you're over these antibiotics? Can you go to that space? And so finally, Valentine's Day came and we went out the night after because she didn't want to be out with all the drunk people on
Mhm.
Valentine's Day because it's very dangerous. So she's smart. So we were there having dinner and she said, oh, this is so good. We should do this more of us. And I said, and how's your stomach? She goes, it's so much better. I said, see what I mean? Can you now be grateful that your body could heal you seemingly very quickly, 10 days of antibiotics. And then now here we are. Can you be
Yeah,
grateful for that? Can we be in that space of look at how much we actually have?
yeah,
I'll tell you something, girl. Every morning when I'm in my backyard, it is like that. It makes me want to cry. I have created so much, and it is a beautiful space that I have created for her and for me. And I just thank the universe every day, every morning. I'm like, oh, thank you so much for all this beauty that I've managed to create, even with all the crap that's going on in the world.
yeah,
I still managed to create all of this, and I can perceive the future so bright. I might have to wear me some shades.
yeah. Yeah, it's really just realizing that you're focusing on something that's bringing you down and then changing your focus. It's like changing the channel, if you don't want to see war or murder mystery or whatever, just change the channel. And it sounds easy, and it is easy, but we think it's hard because we're so habituated toward
Yeah.
being pulled down that we
Right.
don't realize that we can actually choose to think of something else and be happy.
We can, but I will say this. I do love the Who Killed Who shows, man. I don't know what it is. You want to know why, though? I always like to use my psychic sensitivity to be like, well, did he do it? No, I think actually
Right.
he done did it. Not that one, but that one. They're the, because they try to make it look like it's somebody in the beginning. And it's usually
Right.
never that person.
Right.
Sometimes it is, though. That's just fun for me. So
Well,
I
I
like it
get
that
that.
way.
I like that too. I like figuring out the whole thing before, just at the beginning when it starts.
Right. Yeah, usually by the midsection, I've already got my computer out and I'm multitasking and, working on my next creation. So all the things. I love it. I love it. Wow. Well, this
Yeah.
conversation certainly
So
went.
like when you get in your head and you start to get like negative spiral going,
That
what
never
do
happens.
you do to pull yourself out of it?
Okay. I love that question. And I really had thought, I'm going to be righteous for a minute, that I wasn't that person anymore, right? Until the beginning of 2024, when I got really sick the day after Christmas, had to stop working out. I mean, sick from the flu. She had it too. We passed it back and forth a couple of times, and then I had a stomach virus, and then I had a sinus infection where I had to have antibiotics, and I had to listen to my body because I was getting really impatient and really fucked up in my head. Like I had classes I was going to teach in other countries, and now I'm too sick to even sit up, you know, and I can't work out. So I just started blaming my body. What the fuck is going on with you? Why is all this stuff happening one right after the other? But when I was finally willing to get out of my own way
Mhm.
and be okay, body, what are you trying to show me? My body was like, could we just please rest? We've been going nonstop since 2020. I don't know why you're working me so hard. And, it's everybody else has slowed down and it's after Christmas and you don't have to jump right back in and all that. I was like, I started crying. I held my body. I
Yeah.
did. I held my body and went, oh my God, I've been really awful to you. I thought I was including you, but all I've been doing is dragging you around. And then when you get sick, I get mad at you instead of nurturing you.
Yeah.
What is my problem?
Gary
So
does
yes.
say, if we treated our pet like we do our body, it would run away.
Oh man, I love that. That should be a meme or a bumper sticker or something because we definitely forget our bodies. Not when it comes to indulging, but
So is that what you did? Like you asked your body and that's how you got out of the tailspin?
I did. It was very interesting. It was so I asked it, so what do you need right now, body? Because I have the hot tub outside, but I also have a jacuzzi inside. And it's one of those that floats you.
Mm,
That's on and you literally float. You have like it's so cool, Julie. And it was like, could we please take an Epsom salt bath?
mm.
Could we get out our I love this thing. I love contraptions. I have one of those neti pots where you just push the button now. Remember the hard days when you had to heat up the water and you had the right mixture of the salt solution? So it wanted that. It wanted, it was like, okay, body, you're going to be the boss of me. And so my focus totally shifted and my body was able to show me what these kindnesses were doing for it. Sleeping 12 hours, maybe not taking a shower every day,
Yeah.
not, and I even gave myself a break from the television. It was kind of like I
Yeah.
had gotten to where all I would do is just sit there and blow my nose and eat soup and hot tea with honey and sometimes a toddy and stare at the TV and just mindlessly disappear into the TV. Sometimes that's okay. I don't
Mhm.
put myself up for that either. That's Celeste and our alone time is at the end of the day when we both vegetate in front of the television and have dinner together. I never used to do that, but it's really a very bonding thing with her. I never
Yeah.
watched Dancing with the Stars or uh, America's Got Talent or any of those, and now I'm there rooting with her. You know,
Yeah. My
silly.
mom likes Jeopardy.
Oh, same. I kind of like it too, because then I get to see how smart I am.
And like back in the day, we used to watch Seinfeld. I
Mm,
used to do that with my grandmother.
how funny.
That
My
was
mom
like
doesn't like.
a family show.
It's funny because my mom doesn't like the show because she says they're all so mean. You look back at it, they're always doing mean, saying mean things to each other, doing mean. It's just funny. But I never noticed, that's what's so funny about this reality. We get so conditioned and so used to that this is the status quo or whatever that we don't notice stuff like that. It's like the sensationalism in the news and the recorded laughs. That's all I
Mhm.
can hear now. Because once I became aware of it, I couldn't unsee it or unhear it, you know?
Mhm. Yeah.
Seinfeld, wow. That's so funny. Elaine, I just remember her doing that dancing thing where she was like,
Yeah.
her nose in the air. We just dated ourselves, y'all. I'm sure none of you know what we're talking about. Not true. Not
Yeah,
true.
but we still look 39. So
Yes, you know it. I got the moves. Jagger. Got the moves like Jagger. Anyway, stuff. Gosh, they've aged. They're like approaching 90, but they're still
Wow,
out there.
really?
Well, they're 88. I think
I mean, they're still around, that is.
they're still, I think they're still performing at 88, but also they've been clean for probably 30 years now. So
Wow.
yeah, they're all alcohol and drug free now. Whereas, I mean, I sit there and I mean, their faces don't show it, but they have the stamina and the clarity, you know? Mm, extremes. Phew. Are you an extremist? Do you have a tendency to go all the way or not at all
Mm,
anymore? Never.
maybe and no. Um, I, no,
I'm
I
kind
would
of
say no.
extreme.
I'm not an extremist, but maybe I am.
I
I
don't
think
know. I
I'm
mean, when I
for
first
it.
discovered
Like if
the
I'm going to
tool,
do something, I do it.
yeah, see, and then nobody's going to stop me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That I guess you could
but
call it being extreme or out of control or whatever. Because when I decide something like, here's
stubborn.
a stubborn, impatient, yeah, I embody all those. I got in my head I was teaching a class and I was talking about how my body had a very interesting point of view about gluten. And so one of the people said, "Can I say something about that?" I said, "Sure." She goes, "I want to send you some videos about this because I thought that I had a problem with gluten until I saw this woman speak." And so she sends me a video of this woman who makes bread. She's got her own bread store. She even says, bread is that Christ calls himself the bread of life and all this stuff. So I'm being really open-minded now. I'm going, okay, I'm going to listen to this lady, hear what she has to say. And she goes through the history of our country, how in the 40s and 50s, we were the number one healthiest country.
Hmm,
By the 70s, we were like mid. And
hmm,
then now we're at the very bottom. And so
hmm.
she explored it because she was a nutritionist and discovered that it started when bakeries started to go belly up because people could buy shelved bread because they would
Wonder bread.
pull out. Yeah. They're bleaching it, they're taking the niacin and all the nutrients out.
Yes.
So she said that, and she was talking about, bake your own bread. She goes, my children were always having issues and being sick. And so I decided I was going to bake bread and see what would happen. And they stopped being constipated. They were getting healthy. They had more energy, all this stuff. So I got it in my head. This was right when I was really sick too, that I was going to start baking my bread. Damn it. Going to bake my own bread. So, but I wanted to be sure that it wasn't the gluten thing. So I went to the one bakery I could find in Nashville and bought a $10 loaf of bread that had been milled and, and it didn't give me the rosacea. I didn't get choky. And I
Yeah.
thought, oh, it's not about that. So I went and I bought a mill. I've got the bread making machine. I'm ready to go. I cannot find the berry to mill. So I've been on a mission because I don't want to spend $30 to ship it to me. Because you know what? Flour or wheat berries is very heavy. So,
Hmm.
so
Interesting.
I realized what I was doing. And I said, okay, I can
You're
buy.
doing it from scratch, scratch, scratch.
I wanted to do it. Because I had it. This woman sold me, man.
Wow.
And so I wanted to do it. And I finally gave up. And so 2 days ago, I went back to the bread store to buy another loaf of $10 bread. And this old dude comes in behind me and he goes, I know where you can buy it in Nashville.
Oh, good.
Guess what, girl? By the time you get here, fresh bread baked by me. And that's because I was willing to be extreme.
Yeah. Well, here in California, we always buy $10 loaves of bread. Actually, the one
Oh,
I like is 11.99, but it is so good. And
oh,
actually, my son has been really into baking bread and baking. He makes bagels,
oh,
and
wow.
like they love that. They have a sourdough thing that they've kept for years, and
Oh, yeah, I know about that. That's so cool. Well, I wanted to also be able to make my own pasta and
mm,
my pizza
I do
crust.
that.
I mean, I'm Italian. I should be eating the Italian things. Well, I should be, but so
I make my own lasagna noodles when I make lasagna. It's so good. It just melts in your mouth.
dang shebang bang. Well, you got to
So
bring some
easy.
lasagna noodles when you come, or show me how to make them.
Somebody's putting little hearts. Oh, that's great.
That's
Yeah.
funny. I love it. I love it. Well, I'm
Oh
full
my
blown.
gosh, we're like towards the end of our half hour. What
What?
have you got coming up? Anything that
Oh,
you want to share with people?
well, and thank you so much. I am going to the basics. I have to get my big girl glasses on so I can give the dates, so I don't lie to you guys. This Sunday, I'm teaching a bars class, which it's one of my favorite classes to facilitate. I have I went back and looked at the numbers and I have certified over 300 people now in bars.
Wow.
Yeah, since starting, which was in 2011, I think, is when I first started. And then, girlfriend, I'm doing a foundation class in Nashville, March 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. And I'm going to do them in 4-hour marks instead of the 3 long days and a half day. I found that works so much better. And then it gives us plenty of time to trade bars if we want.
Hmm.
We can go get some sushi, have some champagne at the end of the day. All the fun things,
Nice.
guys. I have like heavy hors d'oeuvres, like delicious ones. Like I make the best deviled eggs from fresh chickens.
Mm.
No joke. So good. Oh, can't wait to make my pasta. I'm telling you right now. So, and oh, wait, one more, if I may. I'm super excited. I'm going to Mexico City to teach a Right Voice for You class, girlfriend.
When is that?
Let me take a quickie look now. Okay, yeah, we're gonna do well, actually, I need to promote our stuff too. Hold on. So March 22nd, Bars Trade in Mexico City, and then Right Voice one day online and in person. So y'all can join on the 23rd. And then if you decide you want to do the full on 24th and 25th, and usually that's 2.5 days, but I always like to do the one day before so that you get 3 full days because I'm
Hmm.
generous that way. But guess what? The weekend before that, Julie coming to Nashville, y'all. And we's gonna do a bars trade on the 15th and talk about reverse aging. And then on the 16th, we're doing a facelift, which you guys, it ain't just a facelift. It's a booty lift, it's a body lift, it's a raise your spirits lift. So, by all means, don't choose it. It's gonna be my beautiful, my goddess, my beautiful sunroom that I still am like wowed every time I walk in there. Cause I'm like, wow, created this too. Got a hot tub, bring a beta suit, just saying. And we'll have all kinds of fun. And look at how young we be.
Right.
Facelift work. Oh
I
my God.
just did an intro, the intro to reverse aging online. Just, just to throw out another one. And it was awesome. Like the stuff that comes up and clears out. And then we did the facelift class the next day. And the facelift process went so much deeper. It really did. And people were falling asleep like they do in bars where
Oh,
you don't
wow.
really get that. They were like doing that bars breathing during the
Right.
facelift.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. So
I love it. I love it.
I think every time I do a facelift class, I'm gonna do the intro to reverse aging before it.
Please, as a kindness to all of us,
Mhm.
so we can go deeper. I
And
love
yeah, I'll just stay 39 forever.
I like that idea. Maybe we'll start reversing from there too. I don't know. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I want to be any younger than 30 though. I liked 40s. I liked the 40s anyway, just saying.
All right. Well, oops, we're over. I gotta jump to my other group to do an expanding exercise. Thanks so much for being on. And
This
I
was
look forward to
great.
seeing you in a few weeks in
Okay.
person. Bye,
Yay.
everybody.
All right. Ciao, ciao.